Welcome to our YouTube channel, Mama Chow and Spicy Wonton, episode 34. And today we're actually really going to mix Chinese and English in today's episode. We've been trying to do mostly English or, Chinese, but today we really will mix them up because we're going to talk about all the dialects we know and how we're very unique in a family that knows 3 to 4 different Chinese dialects that we use interchangeably amongst ourselves or with our relatives. So Mama Chow knows 4. I know 3 roughly. So we'll talk about how Mama Chow got to know 4 dialects and how I know 3, and then go through some funny, we think they're funny or interesting Chinese words that talk a lot about the language, the culture, and how it's written. And so this will be a fun and interesting episode, but also insight into our own family, which is a little different and unique. So, okay, Mama Chow, do you want to start off with your 4?
Okay, for dialect, okay. I do speak 4 Chinese style fluently. And when the reason is I was grow up in big family in Shanghai. So in Shanghai, you go to school, you speak Shanghainese only in school.
But now they don't, right? They're
Now
getting
they
rid of
don't.
Shanghainese,
Now Shanghainese kid
unfortunately.
doesn't know Shanghainese. They only know Mandarin.
It's so
So
sad. Yeah.
this is sad. Shanghainese dialect is very interesting dialect. And at home, I speak Mandarin because my mom speaks Mandarin. My mom grew up in Tianjin.
Hmm.
She doesn't speak Tianjinese. Tianjin is different than Mandarin.
Hmm.
So my cousins from Tianjin speaks all Tianjin,
Hmm.
very ethnic Tianjin local dialect.
Okay.
My
So
mom
then,
does.
yeah,
So
anyway.
I speak Mandarin with my mom.
Hmm.
So Shanghainese at school, right? My grandparents and all my aunt, my father, my uncle, within them, they speak Sichuan only. So when I talk to my grandparents,
Yeah.
I speak Sichuanese.
And this is when
So
you're living in Shanghai,
living in Shanghai, yeah.
in your house. As soon as you close the door, you go home in your house, you don't speak Shanghainese, you just speak Sichuanese.
Sometimes I speak Shanghainese with my sister.
Okay.
That's the only person.
Okay.
And I speak another different dialect to my maid. They from Yangzhou, but we don't
Well,
talk about
we're
that.
not talking about
Hangzhou,
Yangtze because you don't remember that dialect.
yeah,
But
I'm
even with your sister now, you only speak Mandarin mostly. You don't speak Shanghainese.
in Cantonese. My
A
sister
little bit,
speak
but but both of you, when you speak Cantonese, it sounds like Mandarin. So,
because my sister's Cantonese is very good because her husband Cantonese.
yeah.
So she speaks years in Hong Kong. So when we escape Shanghai to Hong Kong, I have to pick up Cantonese from beginning.
How old were you when you escaped?
13.
Okay, this was our episode 3. We talked about your escape, well, your father's escape, but it included you, obviously, and your family. So you were 13. So you're much older learning Cantonese, and that's probably why your Cantonese, you can speak it, but it's not like a native.
No, it's not
Yeah.
native. I remember when we living in one city, there's your father always worked with a chemical or petroleum company, right? So the Chinese delegation coming to visit.
Hmm.
So we have lots of people all from Hong Kong. So
Hmm.
they speak Cantonese. So we all speak Cantonese. You know what the delegation said? The people from China, they everybody said, my Cantonese is the best. Is the only Cantonese they can understand. So my friend, my close friend here,
Yeah.
they'll understand my Cantonese, my
And
special.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So
okay.
So that's the four dialects, Mandarin, Cantonese, Shanghainese, and
Yes.
Sichuanhua.
Yeah.
And then and I always think Sichuanhua sounds like a twang. It sounds like people with a southern accent in the US because it's like Mandarin, but it has like a little bit of a
Yeah, true.
accent to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe
Okay,
maybe Mama
let me
Chow, you can
explain.
say, yeah, maybe you say a phrase in all four
Okay, I
dialects.
just say eat, have meal, right?
Okay.
Like in Mandarin, 吃饭,
Mm-hmm.
吃饭. In Shanghainese, 吃饭. In Cantonese, 吃饭.
Okay.
In Sichuanese, 吃饭.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the four different dialects. They're kind of like Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. There's some relation, but they're not always the same. And I learned Shanghainese at home because you guys spoke Shanghainese mostly at home. And, Dad tried to encourage speaking that, even though I would talk back in English after a while.
Mhm,
And then because we spent time in Beijing, that's how I picked up Mandarin, even though I really
mhm,
did not want to learn Mandarin with the
mhm,
tutor. And then we spent time in Hong Kong. That's how I picked up Cantonese. And also because even though I went to an international school in Hong Kong, a lot of local students from Hong Kong were in
mhm,
that school. So even with my friends, we would speak Cantonese, and that's how I picked up some Cantonese. So I
mhm,
technically speak three. You speak all four better than I do, obviously. But we're going to talk about some Chinese phrases that we think are funny, just that we use in our family, and kind of go through the characters and what they mean in terms of, Chinese culture
mhm.
and different dialects. So the first one we're doing is a Cantonese dialect. It's a phrase that they use a lot, I think, in Chinese and Cantonese lingo when they're talking about jobs or money and that kind of thing. And I know that through my own research on YouTube that Cantonese dialect is actually closest to ancient Chinese language. But Mom, what is that word that we were talking about?
In Cantonese, 闻食,
Okay.
闻食,
Yeah.
looking for food.
Yeah.
If you look at the character of one, 闻食, on the left side,
Yeah, this
the
is the left
character
side.
writing
Yeah.
is like hand, like hand. You're looking for something with
Yeah.
your hand. So 闻食, something with your hand, looking for food. But if you analyze the Chinese character, the left side, the first character of left side
Hmm.
means hand, right?
Yeah, we're
Like
talking about
you,
this one character here that's highlighted. It's kind of like a pictograph ideogram. It kind of looks like a hand. In the sick, the character on the right, food, it relates to food, supposedly because it's supposed to look like a grain here on the right, the way it's pictured. Of a rice pot on the bottom. It's hard to imagine, but the old character was like that. And so um this is also, very common in Chinese characters. There's like all kinds of books like, fun with Chinese characters where they explain different characters. There's an old book my dad gave me. But Mama Chow, why does it evoke a lot about Chinese culture that we talk about food when we're talking about money?
yeah, Chinese is very interested in the food and the money.
Yeah.
So a lot of things involve all those stuff. My grandfather wrote a book in China is about Chinese character,
Hmm.
the progress of from the ancient world, the
Yeah.
progress
Well,
to
we should
you
find
know
that book somehow in China. But
the the book called 说文解字,
okay. Okay.
talking about the language and explain in the word.
Mm.
That's in translation.
Yeah. No, that's it. We should get that book. a copy of that book. So yeah, we talked about the famine too in episode 14, with many episodes actually, but episode 14 is a famous one, episode 13. And this is why food has also been quite important in Chinese culture because a lot of many decades in history, there's actually been famine, even in Mama Chow experienced that to some degree.
Yeah.
And so the idea of finding food is also has literal meaning in Chinese culture because of they've experienced it over generations and thousands of years of history. And that's also the euphemism for finding a job or finding money is also it's sort of a symbolic of that as well when you say one sick. We're also pronouncing this terribly, by the way. If there's any Cantonese audience here, we apologize in advance for our dialect is awful.
And
So
now we are trying to teach. I'm so sorry, okay? But you asked me to do it. I have no choice. But because Chinese has so many different dialects, so sometimes we say something in Shanghainese, there's no explanation in Cantonese and the Mandarin, only in like the second word is in Shanghainese is a serope, right?
yeah.
I cannot give you a proper translation in Mandarin. What's Mandarin? I don't.
Yeah, no, this is a local dialect in Shanghainese. And we use that terminology for actually my pet pooch. That's what Mama Chow would call her, Zelope, right? And
Yeah.
there's no direct translation for that because it's a Shanghainese phrase. And when you go to Google Translate, they call it embryo. So Google Translate is not always right. The last one translation was kind of accurate, one sec, but they probably don't have a good translation for Shanghainese. There's not a huge demand, for
Yeah, this
Shanghainese.
is when you ask me to write this character,
Yeah,
I usually write in pinyin, then
yeah,
come to English. I
yeah,
cannot even find the pinyin, so I use my hand, right, in this certain character. So I don't know how to explain
yeah.
in
And I
this
don't
you
know
are
why it's detected Japanese too, this thing. Anyway, it's not Japanese, it's Chinese.
yeah,
But
Xerope means you're always looking for food.
yeah, but this
You're
is
always
Zelope means like you're again food oriented, right? You're
yeah,
always
food oriented.
always chasing and looking for food. Okay.
Yeah.
And our next phrase is also
Shanghainese.
Chinese phrase, since that's a special dying dialect now. Apparently, people in Shanghai don't even speak
That's
Shanghainese
so sad.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's
The
kind of sad.
it's
And so this Mama Chow, do you want to say the phrase?
yeah, the phrase in Shanghainese is 13 point. 13,
Yeah. So 13, this is the first two characters are 13. And, obviously this is three.
13 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time. Yeah.
That's a literal translation in
Yeah.
English, but that doesn't explain what the phrase means, right? This Google Translate
No,
doesn't
no.
explain. And that means, why did they pick 13? Do you know?
I have no idea.
But that means basically means silly in Chinese. When you say,
Yeah. Yeah.
something is sasiti, it means like it's kind of crazy, silly, not crazy, but
Silly, it is
silly.
stupid. They're talking stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one.
Okay, maybe we'll just pick one or two more because we're actually getting long on time. Do you want to just
Oh,
pick one?
okay. Hachapata.
Okay.
Hachapata is in Shanghainese.
Yeah.
Hachapata, 7 and 8. I don't know why they pick 7 and 8, not the 5 and 6. Hachapata means in Mandarin it has 瞎说八道,
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
talk nonsense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The hachapata.
Yeah. So the Google Translate here is random talk, which is not exactly, but it's kind
Yeah,
of.
a little bit similar, but not exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Wow, we can talk about this for many sections.
Yeah.
And I don't need to prepare.
So this is just a little insight into different phrases that we use in different dialects and why we know different dialects.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, but don't repeat us in Cantonese. We're just trying to illustrate. Okay, so thanks for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
点赞，点赞。
Yes, 点赞.